Okay, so I'm Alison Campbell. I live up in Hamilton. I bought my MeloYelo Ebike 3.25 years ago. She's called Emmy. What brought my attention to MeloYelo originally was a friend of mine who had one. So it's one of those word of mouth things. But that was well before I actually decided to buy a bike. And for the longest time, which was stupid in retrospect, but anyway, I sort of did it because I thought I would be too big, too heavy. And I thought, oh well. So I went online, had a look at a lot of brands, and in the end, I decided on MeloYelo because it's that low slung sort of look, and I've reached the age where I don't really want to be throwing my leg over the saddle all the time. So that was attractive, and the reviews by customers were attractive. The formal reviews I'd seen as well were pretty good. And I liked the price point as well. So all of those things were what sort of led me in that general direction. And then I went and did a test drive from one of the Hamilton dealers. The test drive was what sold me on it, because one of the reasons I'd stopped riding my analog bike was because I'm starting to get sore knees, and going up hills on that bike was not comfortable. But then I was riding around Phuket, which does have hilly bits in it, unusually for Hamilton. And we just soared up the hills. It was wonderful. And so I rode back and said, yes, I'll have it. Like a lot of people my age, my knee joints are starting to deteriorate a bit, which is what was making the analog bike harder to ride. And the other thing with the analog was the centre of gravity is so high, so that with the knees was really making me worry. And with the MeloYelo, the low centre of gravity is brilliant, because it gives you a lot more stability on the bike. That was just such an eye-opener. And because you're not putting so much pressure on the joints, I find exercise longer. I can go for 20k bike ride and my knees don't hurt. Whereas, and so for my personal mobility and just the getting out and exercising, I found it to be an absolute godsend. Putting your leg over the saddle is fine for a lot of people, but for me, the step through was a real selling point. I mean, I would say I'm so happy with my choice of bike, and I've been, really, really happy with the service I've received from the company, from both the dealers, with my original dealer, but also from the guy we've swapped to now, in terms of friendliness and helpfulness and advice, and just the service as well. And honestly, I wish I'd bought one before I retired, because all those fears about, they're too big and they're too heavy and I'll never be able to manage it, turned out with the choice of bike to be really silly. In retrospect, at the time they were real, but in retrospect I regretted not being braver sooner.
If you were to give a message to anybody who was, considering whether a move to an e-bike might be right for them, what would you say?
I would say check them out. Check out all the different brands. I found the MeloYelo was the best for me, but each to their own. But certainly check them out. Don't sort of just I don't know and never do it, because I think that regret that for me, the thing I regret most is not buying any bike sooner. So if you're considering it, check it out. Yeah. Talk to the dealers, go for the test drives, check it out.
There's a good time coming, you can feel it.